Good Monday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team, and we have a lot to talk about here tonight as we have a weather impact alert that is in effect for overnight Tuesday into Wednesday morning, as we're going to be tracking a line of showers and storms that will be moving through while most of us are trying to sleep. That's never a comfortable situation to be in when you're trying to sleep and you've got storms moving in, but that timing could also be in our favor because in those overnight hours, that's when our temperatures may be a little bit lower and the air may be a little more stable, and hopefully any storms that are developing out west that move in would maybe weaken a little bit. But still, we can't let our guard down because we do expect that at least some of those storms will be strong to severe. The main threat would be some strong, potentially damaging wind with that. Also, some pockets of heavy rain. The tornado risk is on the low end, but it's also not a zero tornado risk, so it's not out of the question that as this line moves in, we could have some brief spin-ups that occur there. I don't think they would be large or long tracked or anything like that, but brief spin-ups are possible with this scenario and the setup that we have for late Tuesday night into early on Wednesday. Now, before the storms get here, we actually have a wind advisory that's going to be in effect. These are non-thunderstorm wind gusts that we're talking about. These are going to be general winds, gradient winds that develop here ahead of the front, and that includes much of North and West Georgia, includes the Atlanta area westward, also south and west of us, excuse me, and north and west of us, where we're going to see winds that are going to be generally there between 15 and 25 miles an hour, and we expect to have some gusts around 40 miles an hour as well. There's a closer look there at that wind advisory that we're going to be seeing here for our area. It's from Tuesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon until Wednesday at 1 in the afternoon. So again, before the front comes in, these are going to be general gradient winds ahead of the front, and then as the front moves through and that line of storms moves through, we can also have some gusty winds with that. And then behind the rain, as that exits early on Wednesday, we're going to have gusty winds on the other side of the system too. So just know there will be some rather windy conditions here throughout the period. In fact, here's a look at those wind gusts. Now, starting off Tuesday morning, we're talking about winds gusting maybe around 15 miles an hour. But I want you to watch especially those areas to the west of us. That's where we think those winds will be a little bit stronger, hence why there is that wind advisory from Atlanta westward. So watch as we walk through the day here. This is at lunchtime. 17 mile an hour winds in Atlanta, 12 mile an hour winds over in Athens, so not as strong there. But watch along here in West Georgia. That's where we start to see here 29 mile an hour winds at noon on Tuesday, 22 mile an hour winds in the Rome area. And then that ramps up more to 36 mile an hour wind gusts in Carrollton, LaGrange, also Rome, 30 mile an hour wind gusts, 34 mile an hour wind gusts in Dalton. And even though the strongest winds will be to the west of us, or the strongest wind gusts, we're also going to see those gusts here in Atlanta at about 24 miles an hour at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And then as the line of storms rolls in, we'll see those winds coming up even more. Now again, these are general winds that we're talking about, and then that'll be even over to the east of us, maybe even Eatonton, 40 mile an hour winds. Within the thunderstorms though, any of those storms that turn severe, we could even see 60 mile an hour winds with that. So just know this is mainly with this line of storms excuse me, moving in, a threat for some strong winds here. And then after the line moves through, we think that's going to be out of here. The rain will be out of here by 5, 6 in the morning on Wednesday. But then during the day, as we dry out, look at the difference in the wind direction here coming from the west and then southwest at lunchtime. We're talking 29 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts. So that's why that advisory is staying in effect until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday. And you can see how we'll still have some gusty conditions there late Wednesday and into Tuesday on the back side of that front. Now, right now, we're all dry. We're not concerned about any type of rain in our area for tonight or any kind of real issues in our area tonight. And really the system that we're watching develop hasn't even really gotten its act together yet. It is just really kind of getting its act together back into parts of Texas, eastern Oklahoma, into Arkansas, Louisiana, and potentially later on tonight in areas of Mississippi. And that's where we're going to see these storms beginning to fire up, and they're just now getting their act together there to the west of us. So I'm going to show you the Storm Prediction Center's Outlook map in just a second, but before I do that, I want you to see what we are calling for here for Tuesday night, overnight, into early on Wednesday, generally between 10 o'clock at night on Tuesday through about 7 in the morning. We're going to watch that line of rain that could be heavy at times and storms rolling through. The main threats would be some damaging winds, low risk for an isolated tornado. What you need to do now and through the day tomorrow, make sure that you have a way to get warnings, because if you are sleeping Tuesday night into early on Wednesday morning, you need to have a way to get warnings so that it would wake you up. Download the 11 Alive app, enable alerts on that, and it will alert you if a warning is issued for your area. Also on your iPhone or on your phone, make sure that you have enabled the WEA, the weather alerts there on your phone. And if you are in the polygon that is issued, whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, you can select what warnings you want to have there. If your phone is in that polygon, it will wake you up if an alert is issued for your area. So here is what we're watching for tonight. Now remember, I told you, and we just showed you the radar, and we're not really seeing anything yet, but those storms are just getting their act together. So we're thinking overnight, we're going to see these storms developing back into Texas, Oklahoma, up into Kansas. The tan color you see here, that is the level 3 of 5 risk for severe storms, the enhanced risk. The yellow surrounding that is the level 2, and then the green surrounding that is the level 1 risk. So the area most favored for severe weather overnight will be north of Dallas up to around Oklahoma City. This area, though, is going to move to the east, and it is going to expand. Look how large that level 3 risk is. That tan color you see right here, it goes from eastern Texas and southeastern Oklahoma through southern Arkansas, parts of Louisiana, central and southern Mississippi, a little part there of southwest Alabama, and even parts of the western panhandle. That's that level 3 of 5 risk. That's where the risk for stronger storms is more likely. Then the yellow color, that's the level 2 of 5 risk. Well, that extends over into West Georgia. And so those stronger storms out to the west are mainly during the afternoon and evening hours on Tuesday. But by the time the system gets here, we're talking about Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. That yellow color comes into West Georgia. That's the level 2 of 5 risk. Now, when you see the level 2 risk, that's where you have a chance for some scattered stronger or severe storms. All right. So the chances are going to be a little higher over in West Georgia compared to what we're going to have here in the Atlanta area. Really from the West Metro area to Atlanta over toward Athens and even in South Carolina, that's where there's a level 1 of 5 risk through the early morning hours on Wednesday for strong to severe storms that would be moving through. Later in the day on Wednesday, though, we're thinking this rain's going to be out of here, out of the Atlanta area by 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's all going to move over to the east. And that's where the severe weather threat goes to, over toward Augusta and into the Carolinas as the line continues to move away. And that'll ramp up later on in the day as well, especially as we get a little bit more of that heating. So those are the severe weather threats we're watching for the daytime hours here on Wednesday. So the main things we're going to be watching for as that line moves through: pockets of heavy rain in the moderate range. Now, we don't really expect any flooding. The ground is pretty dry. In fact, it's very dry. And hopefully it's not hard enough that it's going to add to a lot of runoff. Hopefully the ground can moisten up and kind of drink up a lot of this water as it comes in. But it's going to be a fast moving system. So we don't expect like 1 to 2 inches of rain to fall and it just lingers and lingers and lingers. We're only expecting maybe a 1/2 inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain with this coming through, but it will be heavy at times when it passes through. It's just going to be moving through quickly. So it's not going to be enough time for a lot of rain to pile up and cause any flooding. So we're not worried about flooding there. Strong winds is also moderate. The tornado risk, as we've been saying, is very low, but it's not zero. And then we don't really have any risks with hail with the setup of this system either. So those are the main impacts we're watching: heavy rain, brief heavy rain, and some strong winds as ahead of the front, during the storms, and also after the storms move through. Now let's take a look at our weather for today. We managed to get up to 64 degrees. That was after a chilly start this morning at 36. Now 64 is a little bit higher than what we should be for this time of year. I also want to show you the rain deficit that is growing. We're now about 1.25 inches below where we should be in rainfall. It's been about 9 or 10 days here in Atlanta since we have had measurable rain. So we're watching this deficit grow. It is dry out there, but we do hope that at least some of this rain will come through to help us out a little bit. But it's not going to wipe out the deficit. I don't think we'll get over 1.25 inches of rain here. Temperatures are on the mild side. We're at 54 right now in Atlanta. Again, we're holding on to some of the heating in the city right now, but outside the city, some of that warmer air of the day is radiating out a little bit more quickly. 46 in Covington, 44 in Peachtree City. We still have some 50s though in Canton and also Gainesville. Compare that to 39 up in Clayton and the mountains of North Georgia. So the Tuesday planner showing starting off in the morning, generally temperatures in the lower 40s, but notice those clouds. We're going to see clouds building in during the overnight hours, but they will be rain-free. We don't expect any rain out of that at all. Mainly cloudy skies, so a big part of the day. Maybe a few peaks of sunshine here and there, but remember, it's going to be breezy during the day too, and we're thinking we'll hold off just before getting to 70 degrees. We'll probably be at about 69 in the afternoon. Now, I want to take some time here walking you through this timeline of that line of storms rolling in. Now, a few things to watch. Even before the rain gets here, we're going to be watching these winds that are going to be whipping up. Now tonight we're fine. Tomorrow you see the clouds in the morning. Those clouds are going to be building in a little bit more, maybe some peaks of sunshine here and there, but again, nothing to be concerned about with rain. You see this sharp southerly flow here. Those winds are going to be whipping up ahead of the front. Now let's go through the evening hours. We're going to be dry through 10 o'clock here in Atlanta, but notice northwest and West Georgia around 10 o'clock. That's where this leading edge of rain is going to start pushing in late Tuesday night. And again, it's a fast mover. You'll see here that once we get into Atlanta, this is the midnight hour. So it's going to be already pushing into Atlanta around midnight. The strongest stuff pushing through Rome, Carrollton around that time. Then 2 o'clock in the morning, we still have good bits of heavy rain here in the metro area, and what we have to watch within this line, any part of this at any time could have damaging wind with it, or a couple of pockets of rotation could develop. That's what we'll be watching in those overnight hours. Again, we're hoping the fact that this is coming in overnight, where it's a little more stable, that we won't have that maybe these storms will weaken a little bit compared to what they're going to be dealing with out to the west, but we'll be watching that closely. 2 o'clock in the morning. All right, now let's go to 4 in the morning. The heavier rain and stronger storms are to the east of us. We still have some lingering showers here, but we're really thinking that once we get to 5:36 in the morning, those showers and storms will still be from Athens to Eatonton, near Covington, down toward areas of Monroe County, Butts County, seeing that back edge move through there. But then it gets out of here. By lunchtime, everything's way out of here. We'll see the winds on the back side of the system. That'll be whipping up again. And then a few more clouds mixing in the afternoon. There could be just a spotty shower around. This is where it gets tricky in the evening hours later on Wednesday as that colder air comes in. Any leftover moisture could try to generate a couple of snow flurries up in the North Georgia mountains late on Wednesday. As of right now, we don't expect any problems with that, but it's just wringing out any leftover moisture. Getting into Thursday morning, we're going to wake up with temperatures in the 30s, a couple of clouds lingering, and then Thursday we'll see a good bit of sunshine here during the day. Going into Thursday night as well, with temperatures slower to warm during the day on Thursday. So take a look at the rain comparison. Again, the heavy rain that we're talking about here would be brief pockets of heavy rain. Nothing really crazy. We don't expect any flooding or anything with that line of showers and storms moving through. Maybe a 1/2 inch to 3/4. There might be some isolated areas that pick up a little bit more than that. So let's go to the 7-day outlook. You can see what we're watching here as we have temperatures up to about 69 degrees here in the afternoon on Tuesday. Then down to 55, a mild start on Wednesday when we have that rain around, those storms overnight. 65 for high, breezy conditions there. Down to 35 Thursday with a high of 55. 37 on Friday with a high of 65. Then 72 Saturday, a low risk for a shower on Saturday. Sunday, we've got about a 40% chance for some scattered showers that'll be rolling through. And then once we go into Monday, we're looking to dry out with lows around 37, highs around 63, still with mostly sunny skies to start the week next week. So pretty active pattern going through the day, Tuesday with the wind, and then storms overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. We will be here with you to get you through it. We're going to have extended coverage right here on 11 Alive Plus. We'll have updates throughout the day Tuesday, extended coverage over the nighttime hours here on Tuesday night into Wednesday. And we're going to have another update for you coming up tonight at 11 on 11 Alive News right here on 11 Alive Plus.